So today let's talk about Ho'oponopono. Is a is a tradition of reconciliation, the tradition of correcting things, of forgiveness of the Hawaiian traditional life is their tradition. But it gained prominence by one Dr. What's his name? Sorry, I've forgotten his name. Yeah, but I think he's late now. He was a psychiatrist who used the principle uh, to treat you know people who are had some psychotic challenges. He was posted in a hospital. At the hospital, the patients were very aggressive. That it was difficult for even the care attendants to attend to them. But he was in his office applying the principle, the traditional principle of Ho'oponopono. He used it to get them healed, and it was reported by extensively reported by Dr. Joe Vitale in a series of books that he wrote. He popularized it too. He helped to popularize it. So I just want us to discuss it because it will help us too in trying to find peace, to find solution to ourselves. So Ho'oponopono is a tradition, is a tradition of reconciliation, of finding peace, inner peace. It can even help us in our practice of meditation and maybe focus and using the principles of imagination. So it is a principle that makes you try to forgive. But when you look go deep into Ho'oponopono, you understand that it is like coming from the principles of quantum physics. The principle of quantum physics. Because what did the doctor, I know his name, but I don't know how to pronounce it. What did he do? He didn't have physical contact with those patients, but he was able to help them. You know, the Hawaiian people believe that whatever challenge that you meet, whatever challenge that you see, that whatever challenge that you even think about, that you are a contributor to that challenge. So that you're a contributor. So, and when you absorb yourself, when you heal yourself of that challenge, the external challenge will now be taken care of. So when you look at it very well, you see that it is like talking about the principle of quantum physics. Remember that the principle of quantum physics is talking about, if you use water, for instance, water exists in three states that we know, three states that maybe science knows. Water exists as a solid, water exists as liquid, and it exists as air, as vapor. So when you use us as water, we are like in the solid state of water, the solid state of water where you can see our dimensions and things like that. Then our mental state, you could feel it, you could do all those things, is like the water state, is the liquid state, while the higher state, the air state, could be the quantum realities that our mental states take from. So in the Ho'oponopono, when you look at it very well, it will be like you're seeing behind it that everybody is the same. Everybody is the same. So when there's a challenge, instead of trying to get the other person change, you try to talk to yourself and change. When your state changes, all the factors, all the people who are connected with that challenge will automatically change and respond to the change that you have become. So that's the major principle of Ho'oponopono, and it is a simple practice. What they use about 4 phrases. I think we know about the 4 phrases. That if you have a challenge, the way to solve the challenge is that you start by looking at saying those phrases. The phrases is that I'm sorry for whatever role you have played in getting this problem. Assuming you have somebody who is sick, you said, I'm sorry for whatever role I have played that this person became sick. Please forgive me. It's not the person you're asking to forgive you. It's just the universe. All the mental forces. They say thank you because you are assuming that you are forgiven. And then the last one is I love you. Do you understand? So when you move from that state of, you understanding that state of mind of reconciliation, you have accepted the fact that you are part of this equation that has given rise to this thing. Even you have a problem with your brother, you have a problem with your sister, you have a problem with anybody. Instead of maybe always blaming that person as a cause, you now say, I must have contributed something to getting this thing to this level. You now begin to say, I am sorry for whatever contributions I have made. Please forgive me for the contributions I have made. You understand? Thank you. You are assuming already that you are forgiven. Thank you for forgiving me. You express your gratitude because you know you have been forgiven. And then you now say, I love you. You exist in love. You accept the person in love. So this is just a little thing I want us to really talk about today. And this principle has been practiced. When you want to, it can help you to focus your mind. It can help you because when you are focused on, when you're saying it, you have to look at the challenge that is on the ground. The challenge that is on the ground that you want to be solved is, as you're looking at it and you're making the three, you are saying the three phrases. You may be saying it in your mind or maybe saying it outside. But when you do and do it for some time and do it at a level that your subconscious takes it up, you will see that that thing you're thinking that is difficult to solve will be solved. I have a lot of people who have practiced it. So the real thing is that the first thing is identify an issue, identify a challenge that you want to solve. Then you repeat the phrase. And then the third one, you trust that it will work. You know that it will work. But I want us to understand that it is nothing strange. It is a universal principle, even though it was seen and discovered by the Hawaiian people. But when you look at it properly, you will see that its base is from the quantum physics. The quantum physics, that everything is in the quantum field. And with focus, meditation, and attention, you can harvest from the quantum field. So it has been discovered that when you understand this principle of Ho'oponopono and practice it, you will have it will make you have emotional well-being. You'll have peace. You will not always hold on tight so much against your neighbor when anything goes wrong between you and the person. Improve your relationship with people. Your relationship will improve, and it will help you cultivate mindfulness and gratitude. And you see that you have the ability, develop the ability to reduce stress and anxiety in your life. You have peace, you have stability of mind, as you're moving forward. So those are, yes, I think some of the things that I've said. Usually, how to practice it is you can choose a quiet place to start. Even though you can, all these mindfulness practices, you can do them even in a very crowded place when you are focused. But you can start when you choose a quiet place, then you identify a problem like we have said, you repeat the phrase from time to time, and as you keep repeating the phrase and practice it regularly, your body will get used to it. And you see that your health will improve, your emotional well-being, and a lot of things in your life. I don't know whether you have any questions or contributions to make?
Okay, I don't know. My own is like both a question and a contribution. Maybe I have to come close to it.
Yes.
Like the question here is, or rather, my contribution first is the way I understand it. Okay, I've heard of Ho'oponopono like a year or 2 years ago. I didn't quite understand it very well until I saw what you posted. okay, on WhatsApp. So I took time, I read through it. Now the last section of that article, that was when the understanding started getting to me.
Okay.
And I realized one thing, that is in line with the majority of what we have been discussing. Though what I realized is that that phrase is, I am sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. I realized that it's like talking to a childlike personality. And according to Dr. Joe
Vitale.
Not Vitale, Dr.
Joe Dispenza.
The other Joe, the one that is dead now, the one that wrote The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Okay, Joseph Murphy.
Dr. Joseph Murphy. He says like a child you are addressing. So I think the whole Ponopono, the whole concept about it is talking to your inner man, your subconscious, because you have contributed to whatever it is. Like all the teachers will say that you are, whatever you see is yourself pushed out. Okay, so that's where I understand Ponopono. I have a better understanding for it right now.
Yeah.
So let me first say thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah.
Now the question is, how do we apply Ho'oponopono for wealth?
No, when you look at all of them, how does wealth come? Yeah. Wealth is a result of your, usefulness to your neighbor. Wealth is a result of your value to your community, to the next person. Yes. Now, when you look at it very well, when Ho'oponopono stabilizes you, it puts you in a position where you'll be more creative. You can create value. Do you understand? When you are more creative, you create value. Then you will serve that value to people and they will give you money. They'll pay you back with money. So Ho'oponopono, anything that can make you have stability of mind, anything that can take away anxiety, it will help you to focus. And focus is one of the steps, the main step towards achieving anything you want to achieve. To have wealth. To have wealth, you need to be creative. And to be creative, you need to have peace in your mind. To be creative, you need to have versatile. You need to see better. You need to see your neighbor as yourself. Do you understand it? So Ho'oponopono, calms you down. It helps you to calm down. And it makes you essentially to know that we are all the same. When you understand that principle, that quantum physics, because those people in Hawaii may not know the quantum that is in they're expressing, they're working on the principles of quantum physics. So when you understand that, you know that it is, it's easy for you to make wealth, make success, create peace, create happiness, create anything you want, love and joy, So that's this. I don't know whether you have any other things you want to say about it. So yeah, it's going to help us. It's a principle. I just see that it makes it easier for us to learn or some of these things we are doing. It makes it easier to, for us to practice our meditation. It makes it easier, when you know that those 4 phrases and you repeat it and you keep repeating it, when it enters and settles into your subconscious mind, you'll see that everything works well with you.
Like prayer.
It's just like prayer, because it's not like prayer, and it will help you to even sleep well, And when you are distracted and then you're trying to focus, how to do it is that you identify a challenge. You want to be wealthy. You say you want to be wealthy. You want to have money.
Okay, another one is like community now. How to make change the cycle of the community or to be a better one.
Okay, yeah, the issue of community, we don't need to be infantile about it. We need to apply some of these things we are learning. Know that for you to change community and change the community very well, assuming you want to, we're crying about what's happening in the country, want to change what is happening in this country. What do? The only way you can change it very well is, getting the younger ones to imbibe these principles, because most people, the adults who are already adults, are difficult to change. But meanwhile, they can be changed. You can be talking to them. The only way to talk to adults, like we're doing adult education here, is to teach these principles. And as we teach this principle, we can learn it and use it. Or we may not learn it. The ones we know that are established in us is what will be interfering with it.
But honestly, Your Highness, this Oponopono, you know, like you said, talking to some people may be kind of difficult, especially at the adult.
Yeah.
You tell them and all that. Now, from what you have said about Oponopono now, it's like you talk to yourself and you see the person you're talking to yourself. You don't need to talk to the person directly.
Yes, you don't need to.
So, but from what I've understood and from what you posted, it's like you can bring the picture of the person.
Yes, it's achieved. Yeah, you know, that thing is like I said, quantum physics. You know, have you heard about the butterfly effect? Understanding that whatever you do, as you sneeze, it affects the whole world. So when you know that principle, as what you do changes the whole world, you're having problem with your brother, for instance, and you want to go and discuss with your brother so that we can have peace, and there'll be more quarrel. You leave your brother, knowing that you are part of that equation.
Yes.
Do you understand? Yes. And that you people relate, even though you relate physically, you relate mentally and spiritually. And now you concentrate on your spiritual person by practicing Ho'oponopono. So when you change, your spiritual person will be relating with your brother. Your mental person will be relating with your brother. And somehow, the way you relate physically is a result of what is happening spiritually and mentally. You'll see that you begin to relate, very well, in a third dimension without actually knowing where the source of the change came from.
It starts from you are the one to change.
Change. When you change, you are part of the equation. Yeah. It is you plus your brother is equal to. Yeah. Yes.
But I reconciled within myself.
Yes. That you no longer have issue with her.
Yes. When I talked to the husband said, could. At that time, she called me and met the agreement to that time.
Yes.
It's based on this thing that helped me.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
When the thing happened, that was why I didn't pay that man that time. So
yeah.
I have $500,000.
Yes.
Okay. But the $500,000 came now.
Yes.
Which I'm using now.
Yes. So that's it. So I think today is a beautiful. Well, we thank God for this.
Very powerful.
Yes.